All right, welcome to another episode from the Chart Reader. So I'm covering these three a little sooner than normal. I'll be honest, I will not be making videos tomorrow, maybe not on Friday either. So wanted to at least cover these three. So MVIS, man, this is looking rough, okay? I still honestly don't understand a lot of the offering noise, but I think at this point I don't care about that anymore, all right? Still some dojis, back-to-back dojis, which is a little interesting in my book, but I am overall scared to say the least here, okay? And I'm actually going to show the NASDAQ as well. I think it looks like the NASDAQ's cooling, and end of the day, no tech stock is going to do well when NASDAQ doesn't. Or hey, if it happens, it's definitely an anomaly. You know what I mean? I don't want to say it can't happen, but yeah, in general, it's hard, okay? MBOT's actually doing well. MBOT's probably going to be the best of the three that we talk about here, okay? Still has not broken the most important line, all right? But it still hasn't failed it horribly either, you know what I mean? So still looking good on MBOT to say the least, and again, probably the most positive of the three, but I still need a little bit more before I'm like, you know, happy to say the least, right? And then NVOS, I will be honest, today kind of shocked me. I don't know if I have any other word to say it. I really expected bigger things. I think yesterday's candle especially, I expected today to do really well, all right? So I am actually still kind of contemplating what I'm gonna do. I do have some position in that, and yeah, we'll see what happens. I don't know if you just heard my kitty right there, but that was her. So nonetheless, before we go any further, what are we gonna do today? Same thing we always do, right? We're gonna take a look at the daily and the weekly to see how these things are setting up short term. We have our 5 moving averages. There are horizontal support and resistance lines that I do draw manually myself. And then when we're done up here, we'll use the MACD, RSI, and volume as our lower indicators. Hey, really quickly, if you can please like this video, subscribe to the channel, share this thing all over the internet, comment good or bad. Look, anything you can do really does help me out with the YouTube algorithms, okay? So let's get into this. And look, MVIS has had an amazing run, right? And I always say it on any stock, not just this one. Good things happen over the 8 and the 20, all right? And it just crushed the 8, crushed the 8, crushed the 8. It's okay to lose the 8 as long as you can use the 20 to bounce back over it, all right? The fact that we have now lost the 8 and the 20 is scary to say the least, all right? And the ultimate thing, again, just the way it works is if you lose this, you're gonna come to this, right? And it just does seem like 350, which again is what I said on the last video, seems likely. Look, these two are dojis, and it's weird because again, generally I say the day after the doji should be pretty telling. We essentially got one more, right? So because green should have been a quicker red, and I guess in some ways it was, but yeah, I'm actually surprised we haven't seen one big like red candle, to say the least. Now, the one thing I do want to show is the NASDAQ, all right? NASDAQ composite right here, okay? The NASDAQ has not been doing well for the last couple days, and look, from the 15th till roughly lately, NASDAQ was crushing it, and that should look exactly like MVIS, right? Like literally just crushing it. I think this stopped a little sooner, and obviously, you know, a couple reasons why. High RSI, you know, I mean, there's a couple reasons why, right? But again, NASDAQ has been cooling, especially right here. NASDAQ's under the 8. NASDAQ seemingly is going to come to the 20 because again, green, red, right? Like it makes sense that we're going to come to this horizontal, which pretty much is where the 20 is, right? So in my head, that means as NASDAQ comes down, I think this is going to come down. I'll be honest, I'm not sure what's going to happen with this 352 line, right? Is the 50 gonna be strong enough to hold, or are we actually gonna lose that and come to these two? Look, these two should be really hard to lose, all right? Losing one at a time, it's not necessarily an easy thing, but yeah, it happens, right? Like this one, try to hold it for a couple days. Hopefully this one tries to hold it for a couple days. Like these two lines should be really hard, and theoretically, if we come to this, I would expect a big bounce up, you know what I mean? So let's see what happens. I'll be honest with you though, it's going to be a little bit hard to get over this $5 line if I had to guess. We'll see how things react, but right now, I'm kind of expecting this to come to 350, maybe 3, and then bounce back hopefully to around 5. All right. I know that's not what people want to hear. I know people had 15, 20, 25 big number dreams, right? I think as beautiful as this looks, I think we need to take the realities of today's downtrend and you know, just kind of see how it plays out with the moving averages now that it's kind of, you know, re-entering them, for lack of words, right? So overall, I know it's not a lot of optimism, but one more time, just looking at NASDAQ, there's a little bit of reason to think we're going to cool off. Again, that's not a good MACD. It's not a good RSI. Volume's definitely not been great. Like, yeah, it looks like NASDAQ, and look, it happens, right? It's not like, you know, things are going to go green forever, right? So it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just a matter of, is it going to be a healthy cool off? Are we going to lose these two and then do we have to really start worrying here, right? Or like I said, if we go from 3 to 5, you're adding more than 50%, right? Because $1.50 is 50%. So I mean, I'm telling you, I know no one wants to hear 3 to 5 as kind of like a targeted max, but that's a really good swing if it ends up playing out. All right. So again, we'll see how it goes. If anyone has more comments on the offering, look, like I said, I really don't understand it too much. I think, like I said, I'm more focused on the technicals and the changing landscape of the NASDAQ. You know what I mean? So we'll look at the weekly really quickly, but again, I think it's more of a day-to-day thing. And look, hey, again, at this point, 508, I was talking about 508 for a number of weeks, actually. I really want to say maybe for these like 3 of the last 4 weeks, I was talking about the importance of 508, and as quickly as it looked like we ripped up, we really quickly went back down. And again, I think this line again kind of emphasized, and not just this line, because obviously this is the same line from the daily, the fact that these two are pretty much right at 5. What are they exactly? One's at 505 and one's at 510. It reiterates my point that it's going to be hard to get over 5. Because essentially that's what I see this 20 moving average. Like at this point, these two lines are not my friend anymore when I think of MVIS. All right. They just kind of aren't right now. You know what I mean? So we'll see how things play out. But I've said it before and I'm going to say it again. I'm not here to be a fanboy here. I know there's a lot of views on this one, and you know I love you and your time so much. But I think the way I show my love is by telling you the sky is looking black a little bit because of smoke. Not, hey, it's all good, baby, it's blue, when it's not. You know what I mean? So MVIS, be a little careful for sure, all right? Oh, what just happened? Oh my gosh. All right, I'm going to pause this. There was a connection error. Let me kind of reload this. All right, and we are back with MBOT. Okay, so let's talk MBOT. And again, look. This, I don't know if you watched the MVIS part or not, but end of the day, as long as the 8 and the 20 are your friend, and what does that mean? Just basically stay above them, right? As long as you're above these two lines, things are looking good in my book, okay? This stock has to break the 200. And look, it's a hard one to break. We wicked it and failed. We wicked it and failed. But hey, at least we're still over the 8 moving average. I really don't understand how that went so horizontal, even though we've actually still been chugging up, all right? I'm not here to pretend I know, you know, the math behind the line. Maybe this is so horizontal and this is so horizontal that it averages. I have no idea, right? But little odd that that just went straight, right? Like, I don't know. Glad that the 8's still going up. Glad we're still over it. But look, I'm telling you, the money line is 327. If this thing can close at 328, give me a penny over it for all I care. Just break the line, all right? And then obviously doing it once is all right, but you got to do it more than once. But look, we've actually done it not that long. I mean, it actually was about a year ago, actually, pushing a year, right? But we've been over it here. We've been over it here. It's not like it's like a fresh, you know, line. But yeah, I mean, it's been, like I said, coming up on a year at least where we just haven't even touched it, right? So, man, we're not at a horrible RSI, all right? Generally, it's around 80 where I start ringing that overbought sign. My real issue, Jesus, look at it, right? Okay, again, I know I've said this on a couple other videos, but MBOT doesn't know how to sustain a high RSI just yet. It gets really high to a peak around 90, which again, 90 is really high. The fact that it could hit 90 is great, but then it can't really hold it and drop. Again, it can get as high as 90, but then it can't hold it and drop. Again, it could get really high. Where does this one go? 84, not even that high, right? But you know, it could get there. I'm literally going back as far as I can, and there is nothing holding up here, right? So and look, I'll just flash one because I know it's happening, right? Like when it can, look at Tesla, just literally live in the like 96, like you can see the RSI number right there, right? 96, 96, 96, 97. Like it could be up here for a while, and you can see it's done it before not that long ago, right? It's done it before not that long ago, right? So, you know, the fact that MBOT just can't hold a high RSI does scare me a little bit. And I'm not sure if that just kind of means we're not going to break the 20 just yet. Okay. And look, I'll flash it again just to be safe. In my head, I think MBOT is a NASDAQ technology company. Again, robotic surgery, robots, technology. NASDAQ's kind of taking a little bit of a cooling, it looks like. We're now actually under the 8, not a beautiful MACD, not a good RSI, right? Like RSI was pretty high, right? This thing was in the 80s, right? I literally just said a couple minutes ago, 80 is a high number, right? So, you know, I'm not necessarily scared that NASDAQ's cooling off, but with NASDAQ cooling off, and I mean, I imagine SPX as well, right? SP 500, let me just flash it here. Yeah, look, same thing, right? So even if we don't want to call MBOT a pure tech, if we want to kind of call it a little bit of a healthcare, pharma, whatever, look, end of the day, the markets are cooling, and I think it just kind of means we might not break the 200 on this one. If I had to put a lowest look, I don't know if we're going to come down to the 230s anymore. I think 240 would be for sure the lowest. And in all honesty, I'm actually kind of hoping 270 holds, right? Because look, we've broken the 8 and the 20. We used the 21s. We used the 8 here. I'm hoping we use the 8 here and go. You know what I mean? But if it ends up being a hard fail of the 200, I could see it dropping it to maybe the 100. You know what I mean? If I had to guess, I cannot imagine we would lose both of this and come down here. I think that is a very, very hardcore worst case, and it would really require the markets, to not hold a lot. So I think this is like a worst case. Two hiccups there. Worst case. I want to say 270 holds. What number is this? 260. I would hope 260, 270 holds in all honesty. So that is MBOT. What's the weekly at? Again, we're coming up to the 50, right? So it's still all about the 200 on the daily for me, though. Let's come to NVOS, running a little long here. Man, oh my goodness. All right. We break all the moving averages. We break downtrend on this day. We very much confirm what I wanted to confirm. We break this 15 line. We look like we're pushing away from all 5. And then again, for almost no reason at all, we get pulled back in. Horrible. All right. I am so sad to see this. Again, volume was pathetic to say the least. All right. MACD still holding positive, and obviously we're still over it, but man, like it just seems like we're going to be coming into this, right? And end of the day, what you know, it's funny, I was literally going to say, what am I trying to do? Because I'm telling you, as I'm saying these words, I'm like thinking in my head, right? But what am I going to try to do? Am I going to try to see if this holds this 50 moving average and bounces back up? Theoretically, we might come all the way down to 13 and come hit this blue line one more time. And really, even hitting the blue line is still technically over the uptrend, like over the downtrend, right? So, yeah, it's just, it's wildly disappointing that this was a -6 day instead of actually what might have been like a double-digit gain, actually. You know what I mean? It looked like this would have wanted to gain 2 cents, and 3 cents would have been 20%, right? So I'm disappointed to say the least, especially like I said, yesterday looked like that confirmation candle I was hoping for. maybe just because it didn't get over that. I don't even know how to like I said, I am sad. I actually for sure lost 6% today. Like I still haven't sold anything yet. Where are you after hours? Not that it matters too much. Oh, okay, you're trying to recover. But yeah, I'm disappointed. There's literally nothing else I can say. And again, I've said it so many times. I hate these moving average clusters. It takes a lot to really prove that you've broken it. And I think, sadly, this is another reminder of that to myself right now and to the viewers, right? So, yeah, let's see what happens. I'd love people's thoughts on this one, but I'm still kind of contemplating what I'm going to do. I'm probably going to make my move before after hours end. So, we'll see what happens, but NVOS wildly disappointing. So, hey, let me know your thoughts. Otherwise, as always, thank you.